and welcome to Digital Science Saturday, Bats, Spiders, and Snakes, oh my. For today's Digital Science Saturday, I have an extra special craft and activity planned for you. Now, during Halloween, most people like to carve jack-o'-lanterns, and so we're gonna make our jack-o'-lanterns get a little bit foamy. Today's craft is called, or also known as, elephant toothpaste. But we're going to be putting our elephant toothpaste inside of our Halloween pumpkins. For this activity, you're definitely going to need an adult's help and supervision, and you're going to need a place where it's okay if you get a little messy. Now, I'll be putting together my ingredients inside on a tray, and then when it's time to put my ingredients inside of my pumpkin, we're going to move outside for that. Are you ready to get started? Awesome. So you're definitely going to need a pumpkin. I have a very large pumpkin here. Small and medium pumpkins actually work a little bit better for this one. You want to make sure that your pumpkin is completely empty. You removed all the seeds and pumpkin guts from inside. Now, you don't want to throw away those seeds and pumpkin guts because those can be used for other things. Then you want to make sure that you have your fantastic carving. I put PGMNH, which means Pacific Grove Museum of Natural History. Next, I have this tray that I'm going to mix on. You will need just some regular dish soap, some 3% hydrogen peroxide, packet of active yeast. Food coloring is optional, and a glass of warm water. Now, in one jar, we are going to mix 1 cup of hydrogen peroxide, and you can get this hydrogen peroxide at the dollar store. So make sure you have 1 cup hydrogen peroxide. Okay. And you'll have half a cup of dish soap. Also doing this in the sink is also a smart place because it can get a little messy. So half cup of dish soap. And then if you have food coloring, you can go ahead and put in your food coloring. So I'm going to try to make purple. So I'm going to put some blue dye and some red dye together to get a pretty cool purple color. So I'll let that sit like that. And in a second jar, you're going to take your active yeast. I'm going to use 2 packets since I have such a large pumpkin. It was a little difficult to find, but I eventually found it in the baking section near the flour in the grocery store. Okay, it wasn't that expensive. So I have 1 packet of yeast. And I'm just going to add a second packet. I mean, the more yeast you add, the more foam you get. Okay. Second packet. And then next, I'm just going to add a little bit of warm water and stir my jar as I add water until the yeast is kind of dissolved. Okay. Fantastic. So, just to reiterate, in one jar, I have a cup of hydrogen peroxide and half a cup of regular dish soap, and then I mixed in my food coloring. And then in my other jar, I have some activated yeast, 2 packets, and some warm water so that it dissolves. Now, the yeast needs to sit for at least 5 minutes before it's ready to go in our pumpkin. This makes this the perfect time to move everything outside where things can get really foamy and messy. Great, so it's been about 5 minutes at least, and we're ready to do our experiment. Now, we'll take our top off and make sure you have it handy to put it right back on quickly. And we're gonna put our hydrogen peroxide and dish soap mixture in first. Great. Now, as soon as the yeast mixture mixes in with the hydrogen peroxide and soap, it's going to create our reaction. So you want to make sure that as soon as you pour it into your pumpkin, your lid is ready to go on quickly. All right, here we go. Okay, well, sometimes experiments don't go the way that you had planned. So I'm going to try one more time. I doubled the recipe again to see if I can get some elephant toothpaste to come out of my pumpkin. Okay, so like I said, take off your lid, and we're gonna put our food coloring, hydrogen peroxide, and dish soap mixture in first. Just like that. And then next, as soon as the yeast mixture starts to mix inside your pumpkin, it should start foaming up. So let's cross our fingers and hope it works. It's starting to foam. Let's see if it will reach our pumpkin carving. And here it comes. Awesome. So this will work best with, again, a medium or smaller pumpkin. I may have picked a pumpkin too big for this. Just like that. Super fun, super gooey. Now, so that you all can have the chance to see what is actually going on, I grabbed a clear bottle, okay? And for this, it was a half cup of hydrogen peroxide, a quarter cup or 1/4 of a cup of dish soap, and then I only used red food coloring for this one, okay? And I have my activated yeast and warm water in a separate jar, okay? I have my lid, okay? And remember, you always have your activated yeast sit in its warm water for at least 5 minutes before you mix it together. And there you go. We have our elephant toothpaste. So, super fun science experiment that we can use with our old pumpkin carvings. And remember, if you have your seeds set to the side and your other pumpkin guts set to the side, check out our other videos to see what you could do with those parts of a pumpkin. Thank you, and have a happy Digital Science Saturday.